What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in this video we're going to be doing a tour of the Power Ranger room. Now it's almost to where I want it to be, but I mean, let's be honest, is a collector's room ever really where they want it to be? There are still things that I want to do in here, but I am pretty happy where things have turned out so far and how the displays are looking and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go through the Power Ranger room, and forgive me if the camera is a little shaky. I'm going to kind of be walking around just so we can get all of them. So we're going to kind of go shelf by shelf here. I'm going to start on one side of the room, show you each shelf, and then we're just going to pretty much start going around the room. So on the first shelf over here, the top of these aren't really organized. I've got some of the sealed figures in their packages. But on the particular shelf right here, these are villains. So I've got all the Season 1 villains right here on the top shelf that were released with the 5-inch Rangers. And then moving on down, we have Season 2. I've got Serpentera there. Then I've got Lord Zed. I've got a little putty army back there. Got to build your armies. Right here we've got Green Ranger, so that's what that is, kind of sticking into the camera right there, one of my cutouts. Right here, we've got our Season 3. It's kind of hard to see in there. I didn't get a chance to install the lighting yet on the shelves. But we got a little, we got some Tanga Warriors in there, or Tengu Warriors, whichever one you want to call them. And we're going to move on down. We've got our Zeo villains with quite a few cogs back there. I still want to do a custom red cog, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And then moving on down, we've got In Space and we have Turbo. Now I've got two Divatoxes. I just set one over there and never really moved it, so I just left her there. We've got my custom Cyborg Ecliptor that I did. In Space had the least amount of villains. You only got 2. Alright, we're going to start at the bottom of the other shelf here. Just a bunch of random 8-inch villains. I don't have all of them there, and a bunch of smaller villains. Some of them are just the little PVC figures they released a long time ago. Others are some of the Imaginex and so on and so forth. Just kind of random villains that I haven't really made permanent displays for yet. Then moving on up here, we have our Psycho Rangers with their data cards. Now this is not the Amazon team. I do have that one sealed. These are the custom figures that were made. So the female Rangers are the same size as the male Rangers. And then over here we have some custom figures. Power Drain Zordon. I've done videos on pretty much all of these. Alright, then moving on up, we have my custom Mutant Ranger team there with a modified Commander Crayfish back there in the back. Now this, as most of you will notice, that Commander Crayfish is a... Alright, and we're back. Some technical difficulties there. My apologies. I'm trying to do this fairly quickly. But as I was saying, that Commander Crayfish is a modified Guitardo figure. Turned out pretty good. Still needs some editing. He does have his tail back there in the back as well, sticking down, that you can see. But all in all, I thought he turned out pretty good. We've got a lot of the Lightning Collection figures there. We've got our Rita statue, and we've got our Goldar statue over here. And then moving on up, we have our custom Masters of the Universe, and I'm pretty sure WWE figures that have been modified. Already did a video on those. Over here we have some other figures. Got our Zed and our Ranger Slayer, so on and so forth. Up here, we have some things that I haven't modified yet that some people 3D printed me. We've got a sealed hand with the ooze egg. We've got an open one. I'm going to put some ooze in there. Once again, we've got our Tanga Warriors here. I still need to paint Lord Zed's throne. We've got a modified Goldar and some Z putties. And then up at the top are just more sealed figures. Moving on over, we have the sealed Zeo team up there. Coming on down, we have our Battleborgs. Almost blanked out on that one. Then we have our complete set of Ninja Rangers. Then we have the Heroes line here of the flip heads. Then we have our movie edition sealed Rangers. Sorry about the glare on the cases, it is kind of reflecting pretty good. We have our Funko Pops, most of the villains, but we do have our Red Ranger with shield there. Alright, right by the case here, I have all of my helmetless Funko Pops stacked up. Then we get to the display case. So we have our Alien Rangers, we have the metal ones, we have the plastic ones in front, then we have the Japanese flip heads, then we have the Battleborgs open in there, along with our newer Hasbro flip head Ninjor, which sizes quite well with them. We've got a Shogun Megazord back there that I have not customized yet to look like the Japanese. Alright, moving on up, we've got our Ninja Rangers, we've got our metallic flip head Rangers, we have the Heroes edition of the Rangers there in the back, which are kind of hard to find. Then we have our Ninja Zords, of course. I haven't fully customized them yet either, but they are in the works. And once again, sorry about the glare. Moving on up, we've got Season 2. Rocky dropped his helmet, but I do have helmets in a lot of their hands. I just haven't gotten around to doing the other ones yet. And then we have the custom morpher I did. Now these are actually the Japanese version of the Thunder Zords. Those are not modified. And then up here we have Season 1. So we have my first modified Green Ranger. I still haven't got around to finishing my more detailed one yet. We've got my original team, which is my original Rangers from when I was a kid. We've got a non-modified Green Ranger, of course, Alpha. We have my modified Dragon Zord that I've done a video on with the custom voice box and everything. We've got our sign back there, and then we have our custom painted and completely redone Megazord in there as well. Up top here, we have our Red Ranger Lightning Collection, smaller Red Ranger helmet, a sealed Ninjor. We've got our posters. Moving on over, we have the Legacy boxed collection of the re-release of the flip heads, to include the Yellow Ranger that I made myself. We've got some open Funkos here on top. Moving on down, we've just got a bunch of little figures and collectibles of the original release flip heads. I have them in cases back there, some other odds and ends that we've seen in previous tour videos, but that's what we have there. Moving down, we have our Season 2 and our Green Rangers, our autographed and non-autographed, along with our smaller plastic Rangers, the kind of cycle-sized ones. Alright, moving on down, we have my entire set of knockoff Rangers, which, if you've seen my other videos, I am extremely proud of those, getting the whole set. I've got a separate video on those already. Moving on down, we have our sealed metallic flip head Rangers in cases, along with some little plastic statues, busts, whatever you want to call them. Here at the bottom, we have our sealed Funkos to include the Walmart exclusive Alpha of the Rangers. Moving on over to our other display case. Once again, sorry for the glare. We've got our Turbo, so we have our Tillatron, Robo Racer. We've got the 8-inch and regular of the Blue Centurion and the Phantom Ranger in there, along with the Blue Centurion's weapon right there behind him, the the life-size one. Then we have our Gold Zeo Ranger with Warrior Wheel and Pure Midas. Pure Midas is not fully extended up because I couldn't fit him in there if he was, so he fits pretty good like that. Just some different figures, our flip head, a custom Legacy painted one, so on and so forth. Moving on up, we've got Tor. And then we have our Titanus and my custom Green Ranger Morpher right there. And then up top here we have White Ranger helmet, Lightning Collection, original Saba, another framed poster from back in the day. All right, moving on over, we have some sealed figures, mainly the Lightning collection up there. Moving on down, a lot of the Legacy, Gold and Black Megazord, regular Megazord, all of the figures, except for Green Ranger, he's over here. The helmets, the Morpher and coins right there. Moving on down. All right, so this shelf, I'm going to back up just a little bit. It kind of goes in pairs, turbo, so on and so forth. So I'm actually going to start in the middle and then show you the secondary shelf for them. Here on top of these, we've just got some helmets. That's the new Lightning Collection pink, some sealed turbo villains. This is a cheaper plastic version of the Green Ranger helmet, but it actually looks pretty good. An original Dragon Dagger. All right, right here we kind of have our movie shelf. So we have the Legacy Edition Megazord and Falcon Zord. We've got some books. We've got the metallic movie Rangers, the 8-inch Ooze, just all kinds of movie dedicated figures. There's the actual movie Rangers that are some of the best they've ever released from the Legacy collection, the triangular release boxes. Over here we have some more stuff, another set, some Ivan Oozes. We got a Tengu Warrior over there. We've got the coins, all that good stuff. Then moving down, we go to Zeo. So right here on the main shelf, I kind of did like the primary Megazords and then some of the main figures and morphers. So we have all the Megazords minus Warrior Wheel and Pyramidas. We have the Automorphin Ranger team. We have the morphers, the Gold Ranger and regular Ranger morphers. We have the little battle action team. And I have all their weapons and accessories. I just didn't get around to putting them all up there. So there's the main shelf. Then we come over to the secondary shelf. I have all the 8 inches. Most of the bikes, I think I forgot to put 2 up there. All of the figures for the little 4-inch Rangers. The Lightning Collection Rangers, haven't put the other ones up here yet. The 5-inch Megazords, to include some custom ones. So we actually have, I'll do a separate video on it, but the Zeo Megazord with the red Battlezord attached to the back of it. I have all the pieces for it. I got to glue a couple more on and customize a few other ones. But then we have the Legacy Rangers with the Build-A-Figure Megazord. So that's pretty much Zeo. Then we come down to Turbo. So here's the Turbo shelf. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we've got Rescue Megazord back here, Turbo Megazord, which has been recustomized. We have the Automorphin team. We have the smaller 4-inch Blue Centurion with his cycle. We have a Turbo Morpher right here. We have the 2 metallic versions that came with the vehicles, Lightning Cruiser and Storm Blaster with all of the Rangers inside of those. We've got our red Turbo Ranger right there. That's a more recent figure. We've got Larigo. We've got the Battle Action, well, what I call Battle Action Turbo Rangers. Then we move over to our secondary Turbo shelf. So we've got a bunch of the 5-inch Megazords. We have the set back there of the Automorphin Rangers. We have the 3rd set of Turbo Rangers, which was kind of like, I mean, I don't know what you want to call them. You could call them Battle Action as well. They all do something. Pink Ranger karate chops a piece of stuff. Green Ranger shoots a missile, so on and so forth. So they're kind of similar to the other Rangers. They just have unique things that they do. Then we have all of the Turbo Carts and the Turbo Rangers inside of there. We have all of the 5-inch, or I'm sorry, the 8-inch Turbo Rangers. Just a lot of the Turbo merchandise. For being one of the weaker seasons of Power Rangers, at least the Zordon era ones, they really pumped out a lot of toys for the Turbo line. As well as with In Space. So here we have In Space, our primary shelf. We have the regular Rangers, Mega Voyager, Mega Winger, Delta Megazord, Astro Megaship, which is the Japanese version. We have the Light Star Ranger set right there. Their helmets light up. We have our Red Ranger, one of the newer releases. We have our Morphers. So we have our Battleizer, we have our Silver Ranger Morpher, and we have the Astro Morpher. And then once again, we have Silver Ranger right here in the middle. He's one of the harder ones to find, at least in good shape, with the Power Rangers in space figures. Down here on the bottom, we have a lot of space shelves. So we have the Carrier Zord. We'll cover this in a separate video. Interestingly enough, that was supposed to appear in the final episode of the actual show, but they never ended up doing it. We have the Galaxy Gliders. I always want to call those Astro Gliders, but they're Galaxy Gliders with all of the figures. We have our Buggy, Galaxy Glider for Silver Ranger, all kinds of different Silver Rangers here. Over here, we have a bunch of the Megazords, the micro play sets, some of the smaller Rangers that have their little battleized armor that go on them, some other random stuff over here that hasn't fully been put where it needs to go yet, micro play sets, things like that. Down here at the bottom, we have the Ninja Turtle team. We have what's becoming the Lightning Collection little spot right here. I haven't got all of them up there yet. All of the Legacy figures with the Build-A-Figure Megazord for the Astro Megazord. On the other side over here, we have more. So we have all of the Astro bikes. I'm pretty sure they're Astro bikes, or they could be Galaxy bikes because they do turn into the Galaxy Glider as well. We have our 4 figures back there, Space Rangers, that have their battleized armor, even though Red Ranger was the only one in the show that actually donned it. We've got some more of the Buggies. I have Black Rangers, it's still in the box. Just a lot of Power Rangers in space stuff that they released. Here in the front, I'm going to show you guys. So I have all of the weapons set up. I'm going to do a display here in the middle of the room eventually. But these are just all of the weapons for the Power Rangers Zordon era that were released. I think the only one I don't have shown here is the turbine laser. But I think everything else is here. It's still in a box somewhere. All right, moving on over since I'm already at the bottom. This shelf right here, so these are the Power Ranger figures that are supposedly, like Masters of the Universe or WWE figures that have been customized. And for the most part, they're exactly how I purchased them. I thought they were really cool. I did customize Green Ranger's Dragon Dagger because it didn't look very good, and a few other things, but we'll do a separate review video of that. I also have some 3D printed Command Center pieces along with a base for Zordon, but we'll cover all that later. Here we just have a bunch of Power Ranger sets of different figures and different sized lines and stuff, to include the original 8-inch Rangers back there in the back. A lot of loyal subjects and things like that in here as well. Moving on up, these are pretty much all the cycles. Haven't got around to putting them all there yet. I'm missing some Shark cycles, but this is going to be the cycle display with Rangers. Then we have the Hasbro shelf. Right now I just have the Rangers and the Megazord right there. Hopefully we get a Dragon Zord to match him, but... And then up here we have Lightning Collection, along with a few custom figures. I customized my Alpha. That's a complete custom Phantom Ranger. And then of course we have the Morpher right there. Up top, more things that just are sealed and haven't fully been put where they need to go. Right here is our mostly Green Ranger, White Ranger shelf. Just a lot of different figures. We've got their helmets back there sealed. We've got our Gold Team shelf. So I have the first ever signed Gold Team by Jason David Frank, the 8-inch, the regular. I actually picked up another one. It is right back here in the back, if you can see it. Another perfect condition, almost Gold Ranger 5-inch 2-pack. We've got the Morpher there, some of their little plastic busts. Moving on down. More open figures. We have the sealed heroes, and you can see the dust that's collecting on. That's why I love these cases. It's easy to clean the case, but it keeps everything else from getting dusty. Just about all the other stuff I try to dust pretty frequently, but I'm going to get some dust covers on all this stuff. All right, I think this is the only shelf that we haven't seen of the regular ones. This is just like the Micro Machine Morpher sets, some of the non-transformable Megazords, the Imaginext figures, just a lot of little random stuff that I put on this shelf for now. All right, up here Power Rangers Fan Club. We've got another framed original poster. We've got a 2010, I think it was 2010 sealed set of Rangers back there. This is going to be one of my favorite cases. So right now they're still in the box, but I have all of the Fig Arts Rangers inside the boxes right now. And then down here we have the Legacy Ultra Zord with all 3 Zords combined. Moving on down, we have more Legacy Megazords, Season 2 Zords. And then down here we have some more just in different forms. Now I do have the Soul of Chogokin set Ultra Zord. It's still in the boxes. I haven't fully got around to putting it up, but essentially I want all 3 Ultra Zords, the original, the Legacy, and the Soul of Chogokin on these shelves. And then on the top, I'm going to have all of the Fig Arts Rangers posed and everything like that. So that's my plans for this. I actually just picked up this guy. It's one of the little 3 feet tall Rangers. I got it for like 40 bucks. It needs a little bit of work. It needs a little cleaning and a little touch-up paint, some fabric paint, but we're going to clean him up and get him looking good again, but couldn't pass up on that. But yeah, that is the Power Ranger room. So I'm going to take a step back a little bit again. Oh, and I forgot to point it out, but I actually have one of the original advertisements framed right there for the Automorphin Rangers and some other cool stuff I haven't put up yet. I even had to put away a lot of my sealed stuff to make room for opened things because I'm starting to like the opened figure displays a little bit better than my sealed stuff. I kind of just am starting to pack those away, especially the more stuff that I get. But yeah, that's been our quick tour, good update of the Power Ranger room. This is solely dedicated to Power Rangers. I moved everything else out. But that was the Power Ranger room. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to try my best to start making more videos more frequently. But I just wanted to give a quick update on this and how it was coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed that stuff in there. And until next time, everybody, I will see you next video.